We'll see how accurate this is.
We're doing it live. But I mean, I've been in this life for like 5 minutes. I'm still salty about it. And that was like 40 years ago. Whoa. I don't know anything about anything. There was a bug-ridden Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Good morning on this warm and slightly humid Friday morning where it's currently 92 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning. And there's Bailey back there. So before I get started on my day, I had a couple things in the comments from my last video to address. First of all, something that I guess I wasn't clear about. Knowing me, that's not surprising. But when I said I wanted to start doing shorter videos, I was specifically talking about on my Freaking Reviews channel, not this channel. This channel, I prefer doing long videos. But on my review channel, just for my production purposes, switching to shorter videos is appealing to me. I don't know if it's going to be algorithmically nice or even friendly for viewers, but it's friendly for me, so I have to kind of do it. Just for my own sanity. So I wasn't clear about that, so hopefully that clears things up. Someone also in the comments suggested that my on-screen graphics over there were AI generated. That's not true. That's not true. I used to be a graphic artist. I made those from scratch myself. In CorelDRAW, that's right. I'm one of the few people who still use CorelDRAW. I've been using it since the 90s. So those are homemade, man-made, with these tender hands graphics. And speaking of graphics, I'm going to try them a little bit wider and a little bit larger type and a little bit longer on screen, because some people did like them, but some people said it was too small and on screen too fast. I was trying to talk fast before that plane arrived. I think I failed. So I'm going to try a little bit longer, wider graphics this week, and hopefully those work out. Because I do think it's good to have all the information on screen rather than me read it all. And in my last video, I did some Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I don't think I ever told this story before. When I was a teenager, we lived walking distance to a 7-Eleven, and I used to go over there regularly to get myself junk food. So one day I went over there and I got 2 packages of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I went home, I opened the first one up, I popped it in my mouth, chewed it up. Wasn't even looking at it, which was already, you can see where I'm going with this. So I look at the second one in the package, and before I bite into it, I was like, whoa, wait a second. There were dead maggots all inside of it. Dead maggots. So I was like, oh my God, I just ate one of those. So I opened the second package. Both of those had dead bugs in there as well. I think one even had a spider web. You know, like, how old were those packages? So I had already eaten one. I mean, I couldn't take it back. So I went over to the 7-Eleven. I was like, hey, look at this. I showed them. I was like, look at this. I just bought these here. You need to take those off the shelf. The guy's like, all right, I'll do that. So I went home, I was like, he ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it. So I went back the next day and I bought a package, opened up, bugs inside. There was a bug-ridden Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And I had eaten one the day before. I complained again, but they didn't do anything. Now obviously this is not on Reese's. This is on that 7-Eleven selling old, probably who knows how long it had been expired. How dare you sell it to me, teenage me? I'm still salty about it, and that was like 40 years ago. Speaking of 40 years ago, it was 40 years ago I started writing in my first journal, and I still write in journals to this day. I opened up my first journal entries from 40 years ago this summer, and I was like, who is this guy? I can't even relate to that guy. How did that guy become me? Somewhere along the line, it happened. But I'm digressing already. I've got a few taste tests planned today. I don't have anything planned for tomorrow. And if I want to do a 2-day vlog, I better figure it out pretty soon. But I got to go inside and do some filming as well. So film, taste test, and then figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. That's a full enough day for me, so let's get to it. All right, I'm sitting here in a random parking lot of a random medical center. And it's time for my illustrious, world-renowned series of Liquid Death taste tests. I have a bunch of Liquid Deaths in my cabinet. I just grabbed one. That is absolutely random. And today's candidate is Liquid Death Blueberry Buzzsaw. I have some brief notes here. This is supposed to be a blueberry black tea, also with a pomegranate. Includes vitamins B6 and B12 and 30 milligrams of caffeine. Been around for a couple of years. I think it started off at Walmart and then rolled out later national. It uses both agave nectar and stevia leaf extract, although I think originally it was just agave nectar and they added the stevia later. And some users weren't too thrilled about that. So the pros and cons are seen online. Some people are saying it has a really nice, pleasant blackberry taste to it. Not too sweet and not too strong of a stevia finish. On the other hand, some people said it had too strong of a stevia finish. Some people said it was too candy-like for tea, and some people said it's expensive compared to canned teas. That's all I know. As I've said before, I love black tea. I'm not always partial to fruity teas, but I'm open-minded. Kind of has almost like a Red Bull scent to it. Why does it smell like Red Bull? It should not. Why am I asking you? Kind of a fruity, it's weird, it's like a fruity stevia finish. The fruity finish kind of offsets the stevia finish just a little bit. And by the way, there is no erythritol in this can. At least it doesn't say there is. I get kind of a blueberry vibe to it. I mean, it's a bit of an artificial blueberry, but it's a pleasant artificial blueberry. As I'm looking through the blueberry, I'm parting the blueberry, trying to see the tea in there. The tea itself is a bit instant tea tasting. It doesn't taste like fresh black tea. Is it ever? It never is. I would like for you in the comments to tell me if there are any brands that sell tea that tastes like fresh brewed tea. It's hard to find. I usually just make my own because usually whenever I buy tea in the stores, it always tastes like instant tea. I'm not a fan of instant tea. But I will say this doesn't have that like really bad instant tea flavor to it. I'm not saying it is instant tea. In fact, I think it's not. But I'm just saying that the flavor reminds me of instant tea. Maybe when you pile on the blueberry flavor, if it's whatever that is, the stevia, the agave, all those combined, and probably a mild tea so it's not too strong, gives it that taste. I'm not accusing them of using instant tea. Don't take me to court now. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's the vibe that I get from the flavor of it. Pleasant blueberry. The finish isn't bad at all. I've had some really bad stevia leaf finishes. I don't think this is, honestly, this is probably one of the best finishes for stevia leaf extract I've had. Because that blueberry taste has its own finish that kind of overrides it. You're overridden, stevia leaf. It's refreshing. It's crisp. Overall, I think it's a pretty good flavor profile. I'm gonna give this a 68. Out of 100. And I wish I had any idea what that scale even means, but that's just the first number that pops in my mind. 68. And by the way, 68 is a good number in my book. 68 is one of my best numbers because that's the year I was born. That's how old I am. I've still lived more of my life in the 1900s than I have in the 2000s. That's how old I am. I'll finish this. It's certainly pleasant. I might even buy it again. It's not that bad at all. So I think that, it's for canned tea, might be kind of expensive, but I think this is pretty good. All right, so I'm in between taste tests now. I went home, worked for a couple hours, went out again, heading back home for taste test number 2. But I was online earlier and I had a couple questions. I was wondering if you guys thought about this. And they're completely unrelated. My first question is, I recently mentioned I want to go to a movie, and it made me thinking, have you guys noticed where you're at if theater etiquette has declined in recent years? I feel like more often than not, I'm seeing, a group of teenagers are going to a movie theater and they seem almost intent on ruining it for everybody else by being loud, by throwing stuff around, making a big mess. That's why I tend to plan my movies around when I think it's least likely that teenagers will be there. I mean, I was a teenager once myself, but I don't remember ever disrupting movie theaters. In fact, I would be mad at my friends they were talking. I don't know if it's like a Gen Alpha thing or if I'm just being more sensitive as I get older. What do you guys think about that? Number 2. Online last night, I saw a video of someone, it was kissing their like toddler child on the lips. And there was this big discussion whether you should do that or not. I kiss my kids on the mouth when they're little. I mean, obviously when they got older, I didn't. But I mean, I know people that they still kiss their parents on the lips when they're adults. That seems like a weird one. I mean, I don't know if there's really a right or wrong answer, but it seems like those who don't condone it think that everybody's wrong for doing it. I don't think that's that unusual. Nowadays, it seems like everybody's looking for something to be offended by. Like if you can't kiss your toddler child on the mouth without someone getting offended these days, I'm taking sides. That's right, I took sides already. I wasn't gonna take sides, I'm taking sides. You should be able to kiss your kid on the mouth when they're a little kid. If you want those dirty kid germs in your mouth, have at it. That's what I say. I mean, obviously when they get to a certain age, it gets a little weird, but to me at least. But what do I know? I don't know anything. I don't know anything about anything. Oh, well, one more unrelated item is like, I just got a notification saying your Underdog glasses will be delivered soon. I'm like, Underdog glasses? I reviewed those a while ago. So what happens is, whenever I review something from like a small company or an inventor and they message me, one of two things happens. If I gave their product a good review, it's always like, hey, thanks for the review, I appreciate it. Let me send you some free samples as a thank you. I'm guessing that's kind of what this is, because I did like the Underdog glasses, and all of a sudden they're sending me extras. Or number 2, your review wasn't fair, you got a defective model, you got the old model, you're out to get us, you're a terrible reviewer. And sometimes they want to send in another one, redo your review. And to that I say, thank you for those who appreciate my positive reviews, and those who don't, you can just go fill in the blank. Anyways, I gotta get home in time for another taste test.
All right, I'm here on the main stage. The only reason I'm here is because it's too hot outside to do it anywhere else. I've got two things to test out here, and these will both look interesting. First up, by request from my last video, the Trader Joe's Dark Chocolate Sunflower Butter Cup. I knew I would say that wrong. The Trader Joe's Dark Chocolate Sunflower Seed Butter Cups. These are supposed to be an alternative to peanut butter cups for people that can't have peanuts or tree nuts. It uses sunflower seed butter. It's covered in dark chocolate. I paid $1.59 for this 2-pack. They say there's no tree nuts and it's vegan friendly. I looked around online for people that liked it. They said it's a great alternative if you can't eat peanut butter cups. Some people say it's a more sophisticated flavor than Reese's. Some people that didn't like it says too earthy, pasty, or not sweet enough. There's a whopping 230 calories in this package. And by the way, I do like sunflower seed butter. Look at this. I eat sunflower seed butter sandwiches. I eat sunflower seeds right out of the jar. I love some. In fact, I can't buy them because I like them so much. But there really isn't much to, what's up with that? Is that on purpose or is that something else going on here? Talk is cheap, taste is where it's at. The dark chocolate is by far the most prominent there. The sunflower seeds kind of arrive after the fact. And that's what we see inside there. It doesn't really taste like a peanut butter cup, not that I expected it to. But it certainly doesn't. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It tastes quite good, actually. If you like sunflower seeds or sunflower seed butter, that taste is there. It's almost like the dark chocolate's a bit overpowering, but it is there. I like the fact that the dark chocolate is not so overly sweet. You don't get this like real sugary taste to it. Keep going. While I'm at it, let's dunk it. Let's do some dunking here. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. Was it, remember the 70s that commercial? You got your chocolate in my peanut butter. You got your peanut butter in my chocolate. Wasn't that like Ralph Malph and like Robbie Benson or something like that? But I digress. This is good. It has a really nice flavor to it. The sunflower seed butter is almost a little bit too subdued, but although on the other hand, if you can't have peanuts, if you can't have tree nuts, if you want something vegan friendly, certainly a viable option. I almost wish it was a little more filling, but as is, quite good. If I had to give this a rank from 1 to 100, I'm going to say an 82. Fortunately, I bought 2 packages and I look forward to eating the rest of that later on. The dark chocolate is more satisfying. After one, I feel like I don't need another one. So. Next up, I have a Crumbl cookie. Now, I was in Discord, I was being asked to try one last week. I missed it. So hopefully this makes it for that little bit. So today's flavor is the Nilla Bean Float Cookie. Let's get this out of here. And that's what we've got. This is supposed to be a chocolate cola cookie topped with a 2-tone swirl of chocolate cola mousse and vanilla bean mousse. Includes a crunchy wafer and fresh lemon quarter? And from what I'm reading online, it's 560 calories per cookie. Quite a few reviews on the Crumbl website where it has a 3.97 out of 5 stars. People who like it say the wafer has a nice crunch and they nailed the theme. The complaints were that the cola flavor is too faint or the lemon is kind of a gimmick. I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm gonna cut it in quarters. I wanna try it with or without that wafer there. I want to try it with or without the wafer, and I want to try it with or without lemon. First bite, no lemon, no wafer. The main flavor I get is chocolate cookie. There's a very intense, rich chocolate flavor to it. The mousse is nice, but it doesn't last nearly as long as that chocolate flavor does. I can see how they're kind of going for that chocolate vanilla float. The chocolate is a bit intense. I'm not complaining, by the way. I think it's delicious. I'm trying to just nitpick the flavor of it. The overall flavor is good, but is it what they say it's supposed to be? I would say kind of. I'm not sure I really get cola in there. I get vanilla chocolate and an intense chocolate cookie, but cola, I don't know. Let's try some with this wafer on here. See if the wafer adds much. People are saying they like the crunch that it adds. Let's see. I don't know if it was just the wafer or just the bite I had, but that one had more of a cola flavor than the first one did. It's becoming more cola-like as I go. And that definitely did add a nice crunch to it. It certainly broke up the texture a little bit. Now this is a puny lemon here, like a puny. I was gonna squeeze some of the juice on there, but there's nothing there. Maybe I'll just bite the lemon itself. I'm gonna take a bite and then bite off this lemon part. Well, that lemon actually added quite a nice touch to it. That one regressed and it wasn't quite as cola-like again. I think overall the flavor is really good, but the main flavor I'm getting is chocolate cookie. The 2 mousses are very good. You get chocolate and vanilla. I'm lacking the cola flavor, except for when I bit that wafer. The wafer, for whatever reason, kind of helped the cola flavor along, but it's pretty good, come on. There's nothing on here most people would not like. If you're looking for a good cookie, this is it. If you're looking for something accurate to what the theme is, yeah, maybe not. I don't think most people are gonna care. It's expensive, it's like almost $5 for this cookie. But since I have it, I'm gonna enjoy it. To my Discord fam out there, hopefully this was good enough for this week. I'll try to do the next one next time you request it. I'm sitting here at the longest light ever as I'm running out to
grab a few things for taste test for this channel, for this video, hopefully. Look at the lighting, is horrific. I'm wearing a white shirt and the sun's, it just looks terrible. But I mean, I've been in this light for like 5 minutes. We're finally moving. This is ridiculous. Wow, we're moving slow. Oh great, the light looks even worse at this angle. So for whatever reason today, I've had Ravel's Bolero stuck in my head. Now, I'm a big fan of Ravel. I know most of his works, and that's not what I usually listen to, so I don't even know why it's stuck in my head. Perhaps a piece of trivia about me you may not realize. I know I'm kind of a metalhead, but in the 90s, I had a dream to be an expert on the composer Maurice Ravel. I read multiple biographies, I knew all of his works. I wrote a term paper in grad school trying to prove that his four-hand version of the Mother Goose Suite was originally intended to be orchestrated based on the Four Hands piano score. How about that? The other thing I know a lot of trivia about is the TV show MASH. In the 90s, I used to go into chat rooms and talk about MASH trivia. What's really interesting to nobody but me is the fact that MASH and Maurice Ravel intersected at one point on an episode of MASH that featured a piece by Ravel. Now, for those of you who weren't bored to death by that, please stick around, because tomorrow I've got some more taste tests and some more mindless ramblings as well. Have to get over, not letting me over. Do I have to just get aggressive to take this?
Well, that's about it for this day, but that's not it for this vlog. I got one more day to go. This is one of those days I got so much done. You know, they say you never have enough time to do what you want to do. Today I did. Today I got so much done. I cloned myself. I feel like I cloned myself and had 2 days to do everything I did today. So that means tomorrow I'll be horribly disappointed in not getting as much done as I got today. But I think I'm gonna stop at being productive for a couple hours and relax, enjoy the rest of my night, and hit it again tomorrow as this vlog continues for day 2.
Wow, that went fast. It's day 2. No preliminaries. We're getting right into my next taste test at home.
All right, main stage day 2. Let's do it. I've got one taste test for you today. Something I found in the store yesterday, which was the Wendy's Baconator chili in a can. This is supposed to have beef, beans, and actual bacon. It's supposed to be a kind of a variation of their canned chili. I don't think it's supposed to exactly represent what they sell in their restaurant, but we'll find that out. This can is about 520 calories. It came out in February of 2026, and I paid about $5 for it. I was kind of reading reactions online to it, pretty divided reactions. Some people were saying that it has a lot of meat and bacon flavor to it, hearty and filling. Some people were saying it's too expensive, the bacon's overpowering, although others said there wasn't enough bacon. Some people said it didn't really taste like the Wendy's chili. Well, guess what? I have a Wendy's Baconator and a Wendy's chili here to compare it to. We'll see how accurate this is. I just pulled it off the stove here, and here is what it looks like. What do you guys think? Now, compared to an actual Wendy's chili, it doesn't look quite the same. Similar, not the same. First, I'll compare the chilies, then I'll try a Baconator alongside it. All right, first taste test of the Wendy's chili in a can. Man, chili with facial hair, not good, not good. Now this doesn't have bacon in it, but let's try one of their chili anyways. Totally different chili taste. This is very tomato forward. I didn't even taste any beans in there. If there are beans, there aren't that many. And very fine ground beef. This is thicker, not so tomatoey. The Baconator chili, the bacon is there. I don't think it's overpowering at all. I think it's a nice balance of bacon flavor. The canned version isn't as watery. It's not so tomatoey. Honestly, I kind of like the canned version better. I mean, they're both good, but this one's so tomato heavy that I'm not really as fond of it as I am the canned one, which has that nice bacon touch to it. Not as watery. I kind of like this one better. Let's see how it compares to an actual Baconator though. I would say the chili, very different. Baconator, let's see. This is the son of Baconator because I didn't want to buy a giant one just for a couple of bites. There we go. Now back into this one. Is it surprising they don't really taste alike? This is basically another brand of chili with some bacon in there. It doesn't taste like the Baconator. It doesn't taste like their chili. To me, this tastes like some other brand of chili with bacon in it and the Wendy's name slapped on it. But on the other hand, I think I like the chili better than the other two. This is some good chili. I guess I can see why people are divided, although I don't think the bacon is really as subdued as some people were saying it is. I think it's a nice balance of flavors there. I know Wendy's chili is a staple. I know it has a lot of fans out there, but I gotta keep it real. I like the canned version. I like this one better. They're completely different. They don't resemble each other in any way whatsoever. And if I had to choose, I'm taking this one. I'm gonna say it's an 86. This is an 86. This is some solid canned chili right here. Obviously, it's not gonna be on the same scale as a homemade chili, but for canned chili, I think it's pretty good. And with that, I have one more taste test today that I wasn't even planning on doing, but I'm gonna finish my lunch and head out there and do my final taste test of this video.
Where's Lizard? Where's Lizard? Where's Lizard? Where's Lizard? Current weather is 108 degrees. It's time to cool off with some water here. Now, I've been planning on doing one Liquid Death flavor per video. And I already did one in this video, but on the other hand, I just found one. The Feastables Collab Peanut Butter Cup flavor. I couldn't wait till the next video. I had to do it now. We're doing it live. Now, if you haven't heard about this one, it is a peanut butter cup flavored water in the collab with Feastables. 15 calories, very controversial. Some people say there's absolutely no way you should be carbonating this chocolate peanut butter taste. Others say, even after the weirdness subsides, it's genius and it tastes great. I thought this was supposed to be some sort of a Halloween thing, but it already came out. On the other hand, Halloween stuff's already sitting out in August anyway, so maybe it is a Halloween thing. I don't think it's permanent, but I found one at Five Below. Otherwise, you have to buy it on Amazon by the case, which I didn't want to do. Why would you buy a case of something if you don't know how good it tastes? Especially something like this, which you kind of think it might not taste good. Let's get rid of all these preliminaries. Let's try it out. This one, I'm really curious about. Whoa, whoa. That smells like a peanut butter cup. You know, I want to like it. And I'm not even really a Mr. Beast fan, if you haven't figured that out already. But I want to like this. Here we go. It's kind of weird. It's kind of accurate. There's some artificial flavor floating around in there. What's that floating around? The ingredients are carbonated water, agave nectar, citric acid, stevia leaf extract, salt, natural flavor, peanut free. I think I might be tasting the stevia leaf a little bit in there, but it's not that bad. But it's weird. It's weird. But it's not terrible. It's weird that it tastes like chocolate too, and there's like no chocolate in here either. And there's 15 calories per. You know what? I don't really dislike it. I don't think it's an abomination like some people do. I think it's actually kind of good. It's not the kind of thing I'd reach for when I'm sitting in 108 degree weather, wanting to cool off. But here I am in 108 degree weather, wanting to cool off. I don't even know what that even means. But on the other hand, I think this is pretty good for what it's trying to be. It tastes like a peanut butter cup. If you're someone who's, I'm making this up. I'm just throwing this out there. If say you're trying to lose weight and you're craving some peanut butter cup, this might satisfy your craving a little bit. Or on the other hand, it might make it worse and you go binge twice as many of them. I'm impressed by how well they got this flavor into 15 calories. I'm not sure it's the kind of thing I would really, if I had a fridge full of them, it would probably not be the first thing I reach for. But on the other hand, if I had a sweet tooth, maybe I would. It's kind of like those root beer float sodas. If you think of it more like a dessert, it works. If you think of it as a beverage, not as much. If I think of this as a dessert, I kind of like it. When you consider the novelty of it, the fact that they got this flavor into a sparkling water without any peanuts or chocolate, I'm going to give this a 76 out of 100. I think it's a pretty good effort. I think that for what they're trying to do, they did a pretty good job. This is one of those ones that people are going to say that's absolutely terrible, and some people will be impressed by the fact that they got this flavor like I am. Which side of the fence are you on if you've tried it? Because I'm kind of on the side of being impressed. I'll drink the rest of this. If I change my mind later, I'll let you know. But for right now, I'm a little surprised, and that's all I can really say. I had to get off my computer for a while. I can only edit so long before my eyes start getting fried, and I'm fried. But going back to the Liquid Death Peanut Butter Cup flavor, I need to kind of revise my rating just a little bit. I'm going to do my first ever split rating because the first half of it, I was like, this is pretty good. You know, they nailed the flavor. But then after I turned the camera off and I kept drinking it over time, I'm just like, I'm not really liking this as much as I started off at. I would say my rating dropped all the way down to about a 42 by the end. Because at the end, I was just like, the novelty's gone. I don't care that it's impressive. I don't really like drinking it that much anymore. I think at this point, I'm going to call it. I'm going to go home, relax the rest of the night. I'm not doing any more work. I'm not doing any more filming. I'm not doing any more of anything. I'm just going to sit there and stare off into the abyss and wait for tomorrow. So I'm going to end this vlog right here in my car, in the parking lot. And I'll be back pretty soon with my next round of taste test. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.